Today we are going to draw each of these 6 shapes into perspective using 1 point perspective. So there's 1 point on here. All the shapes will go to this point. You will not make another point for every shape. They will all go to this point. So I'm going to start with this one, and I want you to draw along and follow along at your own pace. So to start, you will connect these 2 dots to this vanishing point using your ruler. You will not connect these 2 dots because they will go behind your shape and you won't see them. So I'm basically putting my pencil here, and then I put my ruler up to it. Then I put the other edge of my ruler on that dot, and I connect, drawing a light line. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Line my ruler up so that my ruler is touching that dot and that dot. And I'm going to draw a line. Now I need to create the end of my shape, and the line I'm going to draw is going to be parallel with this one. So I'm going to line my ruler up, then I just drag it straight back until I decide I want my building to end, and I don't change the direction of my ruler. In between those 2 diagonal lines, I draw my line, then the rest of this will get erased. And then sometimes I go back over it and darken it. Okay, to do this shape, I'm going to use my ruler, and I'm going to connect this corner, and this corner to the vanishing point. I'm gonna go, this one ends up going over that shape, so I'm gonna draw really light because I don't want to draw a dark line and not be able to erase it. And I'm going to connect this point to the vanishing point, this point to the vanishing point, and they all go to the vanishing point. My lines are straight. So I'm going to create the end of the building here. So my line has to be parallel with this line. So I line my ruler up, then I drag it back without changing the direction of my ruler, and I draw that parallel line. See how this line and this line go in the same direction forever. If the line had gone like this is not parallel with that line. See how the direction of the ruler changed? So I need to create the end of the shape here. So I'm gonna put my ruler here, drag my ruler back until we get to this point, draw a line there, and now I have a second shape drawn into perspective. It is important that you draw light so you can erase these lines completely and you still don't see the remnants of your pencil. So if you draw too dark, you're basically creating a permanent line on your paper. Okay, so now let's move on to this one. You're going to connect your lines to the vanishing point. I'm starting to move a little faster now, hoping that you are catching on. Then I create a parallel line to this line. I'm going to have it end right here. So again, I'm going to drag my ruler without changing the direction of the ruler. Draw the line down. Got this line here. I'm going to drag it until I hit that point. Draw my line. So now we have created 3 cubes in perspective. I am now going to flip my paper, and I'm going to work on these triangles. So I'm going to connect these 2 corners of this triangle here. I'm not going to do this one because this would technically be behind the shape and you won't see it. So I'm going to connect the lines to the vanishing point using my ruler, making sure my ruler's touching each of those. Before I draw my line, I'm holding my ruler right in between those 2 dots so it doesn't move when I trace it. Now this parallel line is a little different because it's not vertical or horizontal, it's at a diagonal, and I want to line my ruler up. You can see it, it's an angle. I drag it and I don't change the direction of the ruler. It's staying at that same angle. Then I end my shape. Now let's do this one. You're actually going to do all three because none of them are hidden by your shape, and you will see all those sides. So then I'm gonna line my ruler up to get that angle of that triangle, drag it back, draw my line, line my ruler up, drag it to be there. And yes, it is that close. That's what it should look like. And then I'm gonna do this last one. Again, line my ruler up, drag it back, erase those extra lines, and there we have it. All of my shapes are drawn. They all go to that, they all seem to disappear at that vanishing point. I've got all of my parallel lines. The next step, which we're gonna learn next class, is how to draw windows and doors and other things that would go in perspective. If you have extra time today, you can add some cute designs on your shapes. You can add shading. So I'm gonna shade this one in, and I'm gonna have it get a little bit lighter the further back it goes to kind of go with that atmospheric perspective. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of finish this up, and you are going to finish all of these and then turn it in for a grade.